Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Walnut and Owl on Terraform, the latter edition. In the top left of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the red Protoss player, it is Walnut. And in the bottom right of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the blue Zerg player, it is Owl. Alright, so Walnut has been sending me replays to my channel for quite some time now. He is a scholar and a gentleman and does send me both wins and losses. So please don't look at this and say, oh, it's a Walnut replay, he probably won, because he does not win every game that I cast. He usually sends me good games, regardless of the outcome, for which I am very, very much appreciative. So here we are, ZVP on Terraform, the latter edition. Looks like Owl is going for the hatch first play here at about 15 supply, 17 supply actually. And pop, there it goes. There goes that hatchery, looking so nice. Again, you can do this, Zerg players. Do not be afraid to go hatch first against Protoss, because you can get out so much earlier than you used to, that getting cannoned out is still a thing, but you can have lings out, you can have queens out, you can deal with it so much more easily than you used to be able to. That is my pet theory. It is something I have been talking about for a while now, but just the idea that the distance to go from the opponent's base to your natural is the same distance it's always been, and the time it takes has always been the same, but your time to get your hatchery up, to get your spawning pool up, to get things to deal with cheese has changed. It's out faster than it used to be, so you have the ability to deal with things on a much quicker timetable than you did. So Zerg players, feel free to take that 15 hatch, feel good about the economic advantage that it gives you, and continue to stay strong. Here comes that probe running out. This is a scouting probe. This is not a cheesy probe. It's way too late for that, and besides, there's not even a forge available for Walnut, so he's going to scout across the map here. Such a beautiful map. You have the nice low grounds, you have some high grounds, you have some nice weeds to run through. Pretend like you're a cheetah. I guess cheetahs don't do that. Do they hide in weeds? I guess they do. But more like tigers, I suppose, is what I was going for. Checking for a third, saying, okay, not a third base. No quick third from the Zerg player. Instead of getting queens and metabolic boost and workers. And, oh, he has a thought. Maybe there's a base here at the gold. And nope, no base here either. So Walnut pretty happy about things, recognizing that it's good for him to get his Nexus up early if Owl is still stuck on two bases. So here he comes, running on out. Gonna say, is there a third base now? No, there's not. The lings are trying to chase him down, and they do. The probe, oh, the probe does see the drone heading up though to take that third base, and that's about it. I don't think the probe saw anything else. Saw workers, saw there's a second base because duh, there's a second base. Saw the queen, no gas here either, which might tell Walnut that we're gonna see a bit more of a macro style coming out here from Owl, but we will have to see. Meanwhile, the wall is being constructed by Walnut. It's a gateway, it's a forge, it's another gateway, and an adept holding the line for the Protoss player. Again, these are adepts that have been nerfed a little bit. They have 60 shields and 90 hit points. They still do 10 damage and 23 to light. They have the ability to psionic transfer, and they now have the resonating glaives upgrade that is researched at the Twilight Council. Increases the attack speed of adepts by 45%. So we'll have to see what happens here from Walnut. Getting that +1 ground attack, getting those upgrades started early is so important in PvZ. +3 attack on ground units like Immortals and Zealots and Adepts are just so scary for Protoss. So get that, or for Zerg, so get that as fast as you can and enjoy the benefits. That's a free tip there for you Protoss players. This is a lot of lings though. What is Owl trying to do here? Okay, this is the amount of lings you want if you're actually going to harass. If you can get through this wall, then by all means make this number of lings, but as it stands, he's not getting through that. There's a photon overcharge available on that pile, and there's additional defensive stuff here as well. These lings are doing a good job not getting the subs killed, which I appreciate, but that's, I mean, that's like 8 more workers you could have. Instead of being at 40, you could be at 48, right? That's huge here at the 4-minute mark, but instead made those lings. Bit of a miscalculation there indeed. Overlord checking things out, does see the robo facility. Is he gonna see the warp prism come out? Might have seen it, probably not. Twilight Council is researching that resonating glaives upgrade that I was talking about earlier. This ling comes in and is probably gonna die. It's kind of running around for its life. Another ling scouting things out, just making sure there's not a base here. Not a base down here either, and there is not. Warp Prism doing some fun stuff, heading out for some special tactics. As Walnut is going to try to do creep spread, looking okay here for Owl. Not the best I've ever seen. This could probably inject at the same time, and main base is still injecting fairly well. So 12 energy on that Queen, pretty fantastic stuff as far as I am concerned. Overlord scouting things out. Third base coming up here for Walnut. Small group here of Stalkers and Adepts coming up. They have the +1 attack upgrade already. That's what you could do with that. There we go, +2 being researched as we speak. Again, Walnut always so good with those upgrades. Very, very smart to do so. Warp Prism here in full view of the Overlord. Picks up a couple Adepts and then heads on over into the main. I feel like Owl should be ready for this. He does have roaches. Yeah, a lot of roaches. So Walnut, if he's intelligent, isn't going to try to make something happen here. No, he does! Take some shots on his Adepts, trying some Warp Prism Micro. So roach attacks take some time to actually get to the target. So I've seen this before where pro level players can drop Immortals with Warp Prisms, have them attack, and pick them up before the attack from the roach actually reaches them. It's amazing. It takes a lot of APM though. And looking up here, both players about 100. Zerg player at running about 138 on average so far, 228 right now. That's pretty impressive. Anyway, you can do that with Adepts too, because they can attack. It takes about a second, maybe less than that, for the roach attack animation to actually hit the unit, and so it can come off unscathed. I believe this Adept actually did take some damage, or it would have if it hadn't been lifted up. So pretty crazy stuff coming out here from Walnut, practicing his micro abilities. Zealot legs on the way, +2 attack on the way from Walnut. Owl making a Hydralisk Den, Glial reconstitution for his roaches, and a bunch of Lings. Alright, so is he going to actually land here? Again, a lot of Lings are here. This is enough to take out 2 Adepts, no problem. I don't think Walnut wants to drop these guys. Meanwhile, ooh, we have a bit of a washer situation here. Tumbling across the top is the Protoss army. Across the bottom is the Zergling army. Zerglings and roaches coming up to try to kill this third base. Marching up the ramp, though, was Walnut, having no resistance whatsoever. Just going to march right up that ramp, kill the Queen, go after all of these workers, force field off the ramp at the same time. The roaches and the Lings going to town on the single cannon here, ignoring the Adept, trying to save the Nexus. The hatchery does explode the recall immediately onto this third base. Can he save it? No! Walnut cannot save the third. It does fall, but a lot of roaches and Lings died. Triple photon overcharge there. And the roaches and Lings slink back to where they came from. Spire on the way. Muscular augments being researched by Owl at the same time. Getting the Hydras is pretty fantastic stuff. I like to see that from Zerg players. Again, the sound, I believe, is at 11% here. If that's too loud for you, please let me know in the comments here. I'll try to keep it down in future casts, but I did watch one of my own casts here, and it did seem like it was good. It seems when I talk, it kind of dampens the sound, which makes sense, but anyway. More Warp Prism harass down here, trying to do some stuff. Lost one of the Adepts, and going to back on out there before losing too much more about it. Long distance mining, replacing the hatchery immediately, replacing the Nexus immediately too, and taking a 4th base here as Owl. So smart play. I feel like maybe that 4th would have been better a little bit, maybe a couple minutes ago. But he's holding on fairly well at the same time. Woo! So both players just kind of hanging out. Resources lost tab shows 850 minerals lost for Walnut, 125 gas. Owls lost 2,000 minerals and 25 gas. So 8 workers have died for the Zerg player. A single probe has been lost for Walnut. Another attack down here again. Trying to do those special tactics. Look at this. I think Walnut decided that getting a hit off requires him to take shots from the Lings. Backing on in again. So sneaky. But no, not sneaky enough. Is he actually going to lose this Adept? No, too fast. Oh, so close though. So close. That Adept is down to not very much health whatsoever. Mutalisks, mischief on their minds, heading across the top of the map here. Adept does have 5 kills, but was down to 3 hit points. Muta's flying in, trying to kill workers. There's really nothing to defend at this point. A huge recall, though. The Mutas say, whoa, the whole army is here. What is that? And flying away, not losing much of anything there. Killing a few workers. This Adept finally going to die. Warp Prism is going to survive the day. 3 probes have died, 8 drones at the same time. I'm surprised only 3 probes died here. The Mutas were there for a couple seconds at least. The Ling's trying to come in here to try to deal with this third base once again, but there are so many cannons. No, don't do that. And finally backing out. Just too smart about that. Muta's taking out 3 Stalkers. This is not enough Stalkers to deal with this number of Mutalisks. Photon Overcharge, though, is definitely enough. Back it on out again. Man, this defense is super good. Where's that Mothership Core? She has enough probably for... yeah, for 4 more. She says, bring them. I can Photon Overcharge every pylon in my base. Deal with that. And that's exactly... yeah. Pylons being thrown down in lieu of cannons. That's exactly all you have to do as the Protoss player. No more cannons in your base. Just build pylons. You can Photon Overcharge them. They provide the same purpose. It's free for energy. And you're in a good spot. So here comes another push with a couple of Disruptors here. If you haven't seen Disruptors, where have you been? They shoot a Purification Nova, last 2 seconds, emits a powerful Nova dealing 145 splash damage, which is pretty much all that you need to know. Mutas in here are killing stuff here. Photon Overcharge again. Gonna perhaps force them to run away? No, they get the pylon. 4 Stalkers come on in here. And just pushing in once again, though, is Walnut. Taking out that Spine Crawler very, very quickly. Hatchery as well going to fall. Spore Crawler actually kills the Observer. The Mutas trying to make themselves useful, picking off individual Stalkers, going after gateways at the same time. Spine Crawler does kill a single Zealot. These Overlords are not supposed to be here. They're going to be killed at the same time, most likely. More Stalkers being warped in, though, and the Muta's back on out. So the Muta harass was pretty good. I think he killed maybe 3 or 4 Stalkers, killed a pylon, killed some workers as well. The army's here for Walnut, though, and... oh, Ultras. Ultras are out for Owl, so here comes the push forward. Immortals in the back are pretty much the right answer here. Double Purification Nova on top of one of those Ultralisks. It dies immediately. Another one comes around the left side, tries to survive, but no, Immortals still do so well against those units. But the Lings are the heroes of this battle. The Mutas as well taking out that Warp Prism. The Stalkers trying to run for their lives, but nope, one ends up dead. Is the other one going to die as well? It doesn't even try to blink out of there, I don't think. Nope. Completely dead there. Forces a cancel on the gold base. Oh no, Walnut. Oh no. Ling's trying to kill some Adepts up here. Not going very well for them. But again, losing this base, a huge thing for Walnut there. No upgrades on these Ultras. That probably explains why they got melted so darn fast. Trying to replace this base here is Owl, also getting a base up here. So Owl is effectively... I guess this is still a mining base. Barely. 1, 2, 3 mining bases. Soon to be 4, but 3 mining bases here for the Protoss player. Although this one probably doesn't count. Archons on the way here for Walnut. How are those upgrades doing? Has that +3 upgrade. There we go. That's what I like to see from the Protoss players. Getting that attack upgrade to the +3 just makes them so strong. Changelings gonna get the scout off here. I like this play from Owl. Scout things off. Does see the Archon. And the answer for Archons really can't be Lings, I don't think. They just, with the +3 upgrade, they do 47 splash damage, which one-shots Lings and everybody around them. Here comes the Zealot counterattack, going to try to kill this hatchery. They have the +3 upgrade. Look at them taking that HP down so quickly. The Ultras are here, but I think they're going to be too late. Lings as well. No, the Zealots pull off attacking the hatchery. Instead, they go to their deaths. They could have killed this hatch. It was down sub 100 health, I think, but instead Owl came in here and took care of it because the Zealots took their eye off the ball. 4th base coming up for Walnut up here, deciding not to take the gold base after all. The attack coming along the bottom side. Owl needs to kill something. I feel like he is getting melee attack level 2 and Carapace level 1, so the Ultralisks, got the chitinous plating upgrade. So they have 5 armor now, so that's a little bit more useful than they had previously. But here comes the Archon Zealot Adept Stalker play from Walnut. Can he make this work? Again, that's a lot of Archons at the front there with that upgrade. Ugh. Drone dies. First casualty of this battle. Creep Tumors as well dying. Ling Ultra, I just don't know. And here come the Ultras. One dies very quickly. The Mutas on top as well, trying to do what damage they can. The Archons are standing in their blood. All of them, but 2 are dead. Roaches in the back as well, trying to clean things up. Mutas trying to focus down the Stalkers. The Adepts they can worry about later. Roaches on top of these Adepts getting cleaned on up. There are only 1 Muta left, and that's it. All the Roaches as well forced to retreat. And the army's left here for Walnut, but what? Not very much otherwise. Lings spawning at just the right time for Owl, getting a good surround on those Stalkers. They do so well against Stalkers, forcing the recall. And Walnut backs on out of there. The Adepts as well, we're coming to help out, decided to go home instead. Probably a smart choice on their part. Taking the gold base is Owl. Observer there. There it is. Observer here. Changeling here. Does show up red on the minimap. I don't know if I've actually noticed that before. Whew. Anyway. Resources lost tab. 10,000 minerals, 4,700 gas for a Protoss player. Owl has lost 10,000 minerals of his own and 2,700 gas, so fewer gas. Less gas, rather, has been lost. And retaking the gold here is Walnut. He almost had a Nexus here, but canceled it at literally the last second. Infestors? Yeah, Infestors are up here. There's one there. One coming down there as well. And a Zealot attack heading along the north here. Again, they do have +3 attack. They have +1 armor, giving them +2 total. That mitigates so much damage. They're going to try to kill this 4th base. Can they get it? Is the question. The Infestors are here. Getting a Fungal off. Doesn't do too much damage, but another Fungal catching 3 of the Zealots, but one of them ends up dead. I really think they're just buying time. Another Infestor dies. Another Infestor dies. Oh, Infestor massacre here. Another Infestor dies before they burrow and get out. And the Lings and Ultras pop on up. Wow. So Transfuse coming down on that Infestor. So Infestor play, getting Neural Parasite as well. Haven't seen that, I don't think, in any of my casts thus far. So we'll have to see. Maybe some Neural Parasites can get off here from the Infestors. They are burrow moving across the map. What they have in mind, nobody knows yet. Another attack here from Zealots. The Spines pop just in time, though. Should be able to kill these fairly quickly. One dies immediately. Another one as well dies. The Lings come up here to try to help out. Attack their own base just a little bit there. Yikes. And another attack here from Lings and Ultras. They're going to kill the gold base, but lose a lot of Lings and a bunch of Ultras at the same time. Ultra trying to run away. Does have 6 armor. Can take a few hits there. Trying to get to the safety of these Spines. Is it going to be able to do it? Yes, it survives this far at least. Again, just attacking into it is Walnut, trying to make this happen. Spines getting melted. A mass evacuation of drones, and the hatchery falls. Walnut again killing this base for the 2nd time. Where are those Infestors? Where did they go is the question. I do not know, but another attack here. Ultras in the front trying to kill what they can. All 3 of them are still alive to this point. Archons, though, just doing so much damage. There we go. Every single Ultra is completely gone. Infestors on the front lines just being killed for no reason at all. And that's it. Protoss still a joke. He says Owl's defeated, Walnut's victorious, and Owl has left the game. So at the front door is a huge Protoss army with +3 attack. Never where you want to be as the Zerg. And he leaves with a rage. So there you go. Pretty fun little PvZ. A lot of back and forth there. A lot of bases falling, which is always fun to see indeed. And yeah, I really think maybe some of this can stem back to Owl over-making Lings in the early game instead of drones. There wasn't too much pressure from Walnut up until he tried to kill that 3rd base. I feel like Owl could have had a bigger army maybe to defend. He was out of position though, so it's kind of hard to say that way. But in the end, I don't think Infestors are as good as they used to be. We didn't see really any Neural Parasites whatsoever. He had a lot of Lings against this heavy Archon composition, which is not that great. The Ultras were fine, but maybe Ultra Hydra would have been a better choice. Hydralisks at all might have been a better choice. Did he make any Hydras? I do not think he did, but he had a Hydra Den, didn't he? Yes, he had a Lurker Den. Didn't make any Hydras or Lurkers, though. I suppose that might have been a better choice. But in the end, he did not make it happen, and he fell to Walnut. So, thank you so much for watching today. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.